Hey people, what's up? Hart here. So everything in my newsfeed lately has been ChatGPT and how amazing it is. So I figured I would hop on that bandwagon and see if it can help me make a lo-fi beat. And I have no idea if this beat is going to be good or if it's going to be total trash, but that's half the fun, right? So let's hop right in and see what happens. And just like normal, when I start my own beats, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to start with a chord progression. Create a 4-bar chord progression in the key of D minor, suitable for a chill lo-fi beat that conveys a sense of nostalgia. Okay, so starting off with D minor 7, which is the 1 chord, that's a good start. G minor 7, the 4 chord. A dominant 7, that will definitely create tension. And it wants to resolve that to the 6 chord, which is an F major 7. Interesting choice. So I'm going to go ahead and write these chords out as if I know nothing about music or music theory, and let's just see how it sounds. Okay, so that's actually not a bad starting point for a chord progression. I actually really like the vibe it's giving off, and the chord progression is pretty stable. I'm not quite sure about that F major at the end, but I want to, before I change any of the chords, I want to see if ChatGPT can refine it a little bit by using voice leading. And if you don't know what voice leading is, or if you just want to learn how to make smoother, better sounding chord progressions in general, I actually have a whole video on that. It's linked down in the description below. So what it's doing is it's giving me the same chord progression, just with inversions of those chords. So basically the same chord progression we have, but changing the voicings. Yeah, I think it did a great job on the first 2 chords, but let's kind of fix those last 2 chords. So that A dominant 7 sounds a little dense. I'm going to move that up so it sounds closer to the first 2 chords. And then that F major I just didn't like from the beginning, so I'm going to take that C down to a D and change that to a D minor chord. And I'm also getting like a jazzy vibe from this chord progression now, so I want to create a little bit of rhythm. So I'm going to move the 2nd chord and the 4th chord so it hits on the and of the 4 on these 2 bars. And this is called syncopation, and it's a nice way to add some rhythm and interest to your chord progressions. I'm actually really liking the chord progression now that I made a few changes to it, so I think I want to go ahead and add a beat. Let's see what ChatGPT can do for some drums. So I asked it to create a drum groove in 4/4 time using a closed hi-hat, kick, and snare with a little bit of swing. And it's giving me a hi-hat on every beat, kick on the 1 and the and of 2 and 3, and a weird like drill snare pattern, 3 and the and of 4. Okay, I have no idea how this is going to sound, but I'm just going to pencil it in and let's see. Real quick, if you made it this far and you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not, and leave me a comment. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, we're not even going to listen to the full 4 bars of that because it's horrible. It straight up sounds like a computer made a drum beat, which it did. So let's go ahead and make some real drums. Alright, now that we actually have a good groove going, let's see what ChatGPT has for bass line. And since I'm feeling that jazzy vibe, I asked it to create a jazzy bass line to play with the chords, and it's giving me, this is going to be a pretty busy bass line. I don't usually have my bass be this busy for my lo-fi beats, but basically it's telling me to play the root notes, the third, basically tones that are going to reinforce the chord, which isn't in theory a bad idea. So let's go ahead and see how this sounds. So it's actually not a bad bass line. It's a little bit too busy for my taste, so I went ahead and rewrote a simpler bass line using a lot of the same premises that ChatGPT was basing that bass line off of. Basing that bass line. Come from the music theory, stay for the bad puns. All right, I think the last main thing we need is a melody. So, I'm not even going to ask ChatGPT. I'm just going to grab my guitar and we'll play something. And last thing before arranging is adding a couple vocal chops. So I just grabbed this vocal off of Splice. And I just chopped out the sections I liked. I have a little bit of compression on there, not really much EQ at all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this free plugin from Cymatics. It's the Origin plugin. And if I turn it on, it's giving it that kind of vintage, old-timey vinyl feel. It's kind of a way to downsample, and it's basically just cutting off all of those higher frequencies. So really easy way to just go from clean modern vocal to kind of muffled vintage feel. So I'll go ahead and arrange this out and show you guys what the final beat sounds like. So I actually have RC20 automated a few times here, the magnitude slider all the way up. It just makes the drop into the main beat a little more impactful. Kind of starting off with that vocal, and I have the guitar playing separately from it just because they were kind of stepping on each other. Second kind of piano melody for the B section. Changed up the bass line a little bit as well to make it a little simpler. And then again, automating RC20 here. And have all the low end energy drop out before it comes back into the main section again. Much gonna do it for this one. ChatGPT definitely need a little bit of help, but overall I think it kind of steered me in a new direction, and you're probably gonna see this one on my Spotify soon. So if you enjoyed, please remember to like, subscribe, drop me a comment. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.